Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the Chatter After, the show where we chat, argue, wax poetic about everything we love and hate in movies and movie news. We're here to talk about something special because usually we have the news show Insider Chatter where Nate and I break down everything in movie news and the biggest stories of the week. That's Nate. Hi, say hi.
Hi.
We break down everything in a week's time. But this one's special. This one's different because Christopher Nolan deserves his own episode because something
Damn right.
crazy and bizarre happened this week with the Odyssey and tickets going on sale a year in advance. Cliff decided we should get a roundtable. We should sit here, talk live. What's going on here? Cliff, talk to us. What did you experience firsthand trying to get your hands on the Odyssey?
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, this all just happened within the span of, I would say, maybe 72 hours because they went on sale this past Wednesday. But Christopher Nolan, the heavyweight in the film industry, director of Oppenheimer, the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, and a slew of other movies, Tenet as well. It was announced that he was doing the Odyssey adaptation, which is one of the most classic stories that we all have learned. Most of us learned it in school, and yada yada. I'm currently reading it right now. But yeah, tickets went on sale for his 70 millimeter IMAX screening a full 365 days in advance, a full year. And these tickets have sold out within, like, I'd say a couple hours of release. So yeah, that's a very big thing that happened. First thing that's ever happened in film, within the film community space, within the industry. This is big. I'm surprised not that many people are talking about it. Like, it just kind of happened under the radar, and the
Yeah.
podcast or reviewers are talking about it. So we're getting in on the ground running. But yeah, to answer your question, Mike, I forgot that they went on sale. When I went to the Discord and saw that y'all were talking about it, I was like, oh wait, that's right, that's today. Let me see if I can snag a ticket. Everywhere close to me was sold out. So
Yeah.
I legit looked at the California screenings, and there were a few seats left and whatnot, but I was not about to break my neck for 2 hours and 40 minutes for this movie and whatnot. But
Front row 70 millimeter is no, I'm good,
just
man.
like this the whole time for no reason. Makes no sense.
Seriously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've checked. I checked some of the seats. The tickets are $40, mind you, which is probably the highest I think I've seen for any movie in general, specifically just for a specific screen. It's not
Yep.
4DX. It's not. What's the other immersive screen that has like
Screen
paneling
X.
on the side? Yeah, I think it is Screen X. Thank you.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, $40 for a ticket a year in advance, and now scalpers are also getting involved in this. So there's a lot of there's a lot to talk about with this. Obviously, we're going to share our thoughts and just what we think about it. How does this affect the industry? Are there other franchises that could benefit from something like this, or is this just a lightning in a bottle moment because Christopher Nolan is just that guy right now in the industry?
Yeah. It's interesting because as this was happening, I like experiencing it through social media. You're like, oh, that's weird. Why are times listed a year in advance? This was like the day before they went on sale. And then it's like, oh, these are actually like available for purchase very soon. And I think they sold out within minutes just
Yeah.
about everywhere. But Nate, you want to take us through like the big issue here?
So I think it's a lot of things. I'm very fortunate enough. Indiana is not usually polite to being a cinephile, but we have a huge IMAX screen. We always get the 70 millimeter. And when I got tickets for Dunkirk or Oppenheimer or Sinners, I never had a problem. That is until this. A lot of it is scalpers, but I also think it's really, and I'm going to sound like gatekeepy, and I'm sorry, but it's like we've all loved movies for so long, like the three of us.
Yeah.
The gaining popularity, I think, of like Letterboxd and like the Barbenheimer event and even Film Talk, it has opened up the gates to so many more people because, like I mentioned, Oppenheimer was pretty easy to get 70 millimeter tickets for me. Like, I think I got it like a couple days after. I didn't know whether I wanted to get tickets at first for this because I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to be living in Indiana at that time. A lot can change in a year. Most of these tickets are non-refundable. But I think it's a lot of this eventized of Nolan. Like, he is extremely well known. This is now his follow-up to the movie that won him everything. Everybody, most people who were even remotely familiar with like movies and everything knew who Nolan was, but now everybody does. And I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh shit, Nolan's doing a new movie. But I also think it's a large problem with scalpers. Because I'd also forgotten that the tickets were going on sale. So I woke up that morning. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get the tickets. If, I am not in Indiana, I can easily give them to a friend. That's what I did with Oppenheimer because I got a press screening instead in 70 millimeter. And that was nice. So I'm like, you know what? Worst case, do that. I couldn't find anything. And I've read these aren't the only showings in 70 millimeter. These are just going to be like the first 1 or 2 showings per day.
Yeah.
But it's also probably going to be half of the showings per day, especially because we know this movie's going to be over 3 hours.
It's gotta be. It's the freaking Odyssey.
Which is funny because when I looked at some of the times, the run they have it's weird. They have a runtime that says 2 hours and 40 minutes, but then right next to the poster is like runtime to be determined. So it's like what exactly? Like we all know
I
it's
mean,
probably gonna be 3 hours
It's
because
still
you can't.
filming.
yeah,
So,
there's no way he's got a cut of this, so it's definitely gonna. It's not
Because you can't do the
finalized.
Odyssey just in 2 hours. Like you're
no.
cutting out so much.
Because when this was first announced, I was like, okay, is he going to do this as like a 2-parter? Because it would work as that. Because the source material is so dense and so sprawling, it would make sense. This is
Especially
going to be a
coming off
long
of
movie.
Wicked and Dune, we already have 2-part
Yeah.
films like in the culture zeitgeist. Yeah,
It's also more money for Universal, who, after being Warner Brothers, golden child for so long, now he's all with Universal. They probably would want, 2 different movies. But yeah, I think it's a lot with scalpers, and it makes me very nervous for the future. Because when these show times first started, I'm like, that is not possible. That cannot be possible. I guess I don't know which Nolan film, one of his movies, the tickets went on sale for 70 millimeters 6 months in advance. It was either Dark Knight Rises, or Interstellar. I forget which one. It didn't go down like this, though. I would assume it was very easy to get those tickets. And I don't think it's just about him being popular. I think it is a thing with scalpers. Because if you look on eBay, people have those tickets up for like hundreds of dollars just to buy a ticket. And that's not right. I wish Universal or these IMAX theaters would like step in, restart this process. Some people got them fair and square. Not a lot though.
yeah. It's so crazy that this is happening because it. We were talking before about like making this an event, right? I'm cool with that. We have our event movies. We just had Superman. We're gonna have Avatar. We have the Avengers, right? But like the idea that we're having scalpers for movie tickets is wild, right? Like it's already a problem for concerts and live events, sporting events, but like somebody's actually going to try and pay $200 on eBay to get a ticket to this thing, and it's like movie tickets should be accessible. It shouldn't have gone down a year in advance. I know you guys mentioned that this was a limited amount of theaters, screens, and all that, but I'm just hoping this doesn't catch on and Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, like next year, it's going to be like, oh, that entire first weekend goes on sale 8 months in advance. And that becomes like a huge issue. That's my concern.
They're gonna do that. Disney loves seeing an opportunity. They are.
They had us watching Chairs for like 5 hours a few weeks back, so
I know we're gonna talk about
Which
this
I'm still
tomorrow,
angry
but
about.
I didn't see the Fantastic Four reactions until like an hour ago, and I was like, "Oh shit! Like this, they are back."
yeah.
I mean, it's
Side note,
Disney's
are
gonna.
reactions good for that?
Cliff, we are
Yeah.
getting best Marvel movie ever reactions for this one.
Oh, they say that.
So
Okay.
I know, but it's all like we'll see. We'll see.
I I've seen the hipsters even being like, "This is a damn good movie." Like the people who would have a bone to pick with anything that's going to be popular. I've seen them praise this movie, so I'm like, okay, this has to be actually like good, good.
It's the fact that Marvel also like we're not trying to sidetrack us there, but Marvel actually allowing reactions to go up a week in advance is something that hasn't happened in recent memory. So that's a good sign, I would say. Like I'm pretty sure reactions were like 3-4 days in advance, like the last three outings or so for the MCU.
Yes, but
Yeah.
that's besides the point. I'm just saying Disney's going to know that hype is high. They're going to want even more good press for Marvel, and they're going to take that opportunity for that. I think it's too. I could see them doing it with Avatar. Um, like we're supposed to get that trailer this week.
Yeah.
They might be like tickets are going on sale now. Which, by the way, I got to remind my friend who I saw Superman with because I got him the tickets for Superman. He's like, for your Christmas, do you want to see Avatar? I'll sit in it with 3D to see it at that big IMAX. And I'm like, hell yeah. So as soon as that, I'm going to be like, tick, buddy.
We're reaching that point where when this Avatar trailer drops, we might get the tickets on sale now sign. That's the crazy part.
We are. I wholeheartedly believe that we are going to get that because I remember, and COVID canceled all of this. It effed everything up. When F9, when they released the 4-minute long trailer for Fast and Furious 9, it was like January. The movie was supposed to come out June 2020. They said tickets on sale now.
Crazy.
Those were easy to get though then because I had a friend who was like a diehard and he was like, oh yeah, the theater was empty. That's not going to happen with movies anymore.
So on one hand, I'm glad we are getting that excitement and that hype for a movie, especially a Nolan Odyssey movie. Like this not being a comic book movie or like a Fast Furious type of movie. I'm glad that I'm going to be that guy for a second. It's like, oh yeah, if people are excited for cinema, right?
Yeah.
That might be a good thing. But on the other hand, Cliff, does this actually hurt the theater industry? Because is there also a chance that for right now this works, but like is there also a chance that they're going to be selling tickets to movies that won't even be available on those screens, right? Like what if there's only we don't know what the show times are, we don't know what the runtime is. Like I feel like this is just developing a lot of problems that we are considering if this becomes a trend.
Yeah, I think there's a number of potential problems. I think we'll have to wait and see if another studio does this again. Like we mentioned earlier, if Disney does this with Avatar, then that's going to be a pretty good example of like us starting to see a trend of maybe within like the next 5 years, big tentpole projects. Like we'll now be having tickets set up a year in advance. Like too early to tell, but like imagine that first X-Men movie from Marvel getting tickets a year in advance. Like that's a major historic moment. Not just because of the movie, but also just within history as well. So I could see something like that happening. But to answer your question fully, I don't want to get like too like pessimistic or like doomish with it. Like
Yeah.
because I also feel like this is just such a unique moment that I can't think of any other director who has the I guess notoriety to do something like this. Like I get it, James Cameron is cool and whatnot, and the Avatar movies, they're people enjoy them and whatnot, but I don't know if they have the draw to be like, hey, 365 days from now, you can get your ticket today. I don't know if it has enough pull to be like, hey, get your tickets now before Christmas release day and whatnot. Like I think it would have to be pretty monumental. Avengers Doomsday, possibly, because that's going to be a heavy hitter. That might be the one where they try and do it twice. Like year before Doomsday, and then a year later Secret Wars and whatnot. But yeah, I don't think it's too early for us to get scared just yet. I think once we see Disney or even Warner Brothers try it, I don't know what movies they have that they could try and push that for. Um, but yeah, I don't think this is going to happen for smaller movies because most audiences don't even show up for small movies to begin with. So this is definitely would be for like tentpole, big budget adventure films.
I was
So
gonna say, oh,
go
sorry,
ahead. No, go.
Cliff, you're exactly right that Nolan is the only filmmaker who can pull this kind of thing off. Because I don't think it's going to be Cameron. Look, I love and adore and kind of worship Steven Spielberg. He's not going to do
Kind
that.
of.
Okay, I do, not just kind of. I don't think Tarantino could do this. No director can do this but Nolan. I don't even think Denis Villeneuve. They could try it with Dune, and I think it would sell very well. But
I think that might go to more so who's in the cast, more so than actually Denny V's name attached to it.
I think so too,
Well,
especially with how star-studded those are.
I want to take us back for a sec while we're on this point, though, Nate. Right? You were talking about the film bro letterbox crowd.
Yes,
That's who's buying these tickets. Like, I don't know if any normal person is gonna be like, "Oh, I want to buy tickets a year in advance for any movie." This very much is that niche audience, and that's why I wanted to ask you guys: is this honestly a bad thing, right? Because who's buying these 70 millimeter opening night tickets anyway, outside of that like very specific crowd? Like even with the Marvel thing, if Avengers Doomsday
Outside
does
of
it,
us,
it'd be us, right? That's the thing. It if with the Avengers, right, it's gonna be those Marvel nerds. Like think about every opening night for a Marvel movie. They're always sold out, and it's always the same people. I run into these same people every time I go to a Marvel movie because we're the opening night crowd every time. It's gotten to be a tradition where it's like, oh, there's Captain America. A guy has been cosplaying Captain America every year since the Winter Soldier at these Marvel movies, and it's hilarious. But since it's that very niche demographic, is this actually a problem? Because you're just giving the people what they want, and the normies are going to watch it in regular formats anyway, opening night.
I was gonna say, look, yeah, there's a lot of cinephiles everywhere. Okay, there's not that many that tickets would sell out this fast.
Fair.
Like hardcore freaks like us who would do this.
That were up at midnight to buy 70 millimeter tickets for a movie that's not even done filming. Yeah, you're probably right. I was
I would have
asleep.
done that. If my future was more clear, I would have stayed up.
but again, we're talking about like lightning in a bottle moment. Like again,
Yeah.
Nolan is the only one who could even have the gusto who could get people to stay up until midnight to buy a movie ticket.
Well, Spielberg would make me, but that's me.
Yeah, no, but hey, at least you're honest about it. I feel like a lot of people don't even like to admit like we're obsessive nerds for this thing, and we all have that one director that like I'm not ashamed to say if someone told me, oh, Bong Joon Ho's next like great film post Parasite had tickets on sale a year in advance, I would probably buy them.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, I'm not doing anything this weekend, so family vacations, work. I'm sorry, I'm taking off. I'm letting y'all know a year in advance at this point, right? But so yeah, so I think Nolan is truly just the only one who could do this because I can't think of any other director whose filmography I won't say so beloved, but has a good amount of respect.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think there's anyone who doesn't think any of his movies are bad.
no.
You might not like them, but you're not like, oh, these are terrible movies. You're not thinking to that degree.
Actually, now I'm going to pull something from my window. One filmmaker I think could do it because these 70 millimeter screens usually come with collectibles. This is, I can't even get it to show.
You got your background blur on, that's why.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Your background's fine. You can unblur it. It's cool. It's all right. But yeah, we can't see the thing. While you work on that setting, there you go.
Here it is. It's
Sinners.
They give out collectibles at all of these. People tried to sell these things for a lot of money. They didn't make any money from it, but there's that collectible incentive as well with these
film
screens.
strip. Yeah.
So not only can they scalp these tickets, they can scalp things like this, even if they're one per person. They're like, ooh, more money. I was watching a video from a YouTuber like Papa Meat, and he was talking about like the Funko like collectors and how all of them do this just to make, they will scalp and go to these stores to buy these only to see their value go up later and then sell them. And I think there's something about, these 70 millimeter screenings. These theaters do a great job at making them feel special because there's not many theaters like it in the world who will show these movies in this format. It
Yeah.
is,
It's a Labubu situation,
yes.
unfortunately. Because I even think about it this way. Like, I put the Variety article link. I've been reading
Mhm.
it while we've been talking, whatnot. And I've been looking. One section of the article mentioned that there's a package for 4 Saturday night tickets at the AMC Lincoln in New York. For
Mhm.
those of you who don't know, that's the largest screen, IMAX screen in the country. For those tickets is $1,000. Like someone on eBay is selling them for $1,000. So that's like somewhere between $200 $300 per ticket. You know, and so like as someone who's like me who collects ticket stubs, I'm just like, is there someone out there who would get that, who would spend that kind of money? Because now you have a valuable thing, a valuable physical evidence that you want to see this experience, that you have the proof of what just happened this weekend, of this rare occurrence, So like, I don't know, I don't, I could see somebody unfortunately spending $1,000 on 4 movie tickets, unfortunately.
I hate that. And I want to say, can I say the F word?
Yes, Nate, you can say fuck.
Yay. Fuck the people who are selling that. Like, I want to find the guy on eBay who's selling that for $1,000. I'm like, that could have been a family who sat down. But no, are you going to even go to the movie? Probably not. You didn't get a ticket for yourself. I feel like we're being picked on. It's like middle school all over again. The film bros are going to get picked on.
That's a portion of somebody's rent right there.
That is somebody's rent right there, honestly. Like
Yeah.
just full on.
Just dangling the ticket in front of us, and it's like, no, you gotta pay me $1,000.
The scalping is bad. Again, like I don't. We'll have to see the developments of it, obviously, because like I don't know. On one hand, we've known that like the CEO of AMC and people before have tried to make movie theaters act like other like live events where we're gonna have seat-based pricing models. So depending on where you sit, you're gonna pay more, you're gonna pay less. If you get a worse seat, it's gonna be cheaper, right? Like front row is gonna be significantly cheaper. And so just the idea of introducing something that leads to scalping is like this is why I hate buying tickets for concerts or Broadway productions or sporting events, because it's like you just get priced out so fast. And for for like movies specifically, this can hurt because even the good ones, the big blockbuster ones, don't even stay in theaters that long. So you're really just hurting your hardcore fan base anyway. Like the guys who are going to see the Odyssey, like us, you're going to have some normies that go, but then there's going to be the bulk of the people who are going to stream this thing when it hits streaming like a month later. A movie like Superman that just came out, right? That's crushing it here domestic box office wise. I think they already said that it's rumored to come out on VOD August 26th.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay. So pricing out the people who actually want to support you is going to be a problem.
Yeah. The one other thing I was going to say, because we compared it to concerts, for me, it's pretty easy to get concert tickets for artists that I like. Like when I went to see like Wu-Tang Clan, like I was able to get those tickets like weeks after they went on sale. Are you surprised, Cliff?
I was not expecting you to mention Wu-Tang Clan at all. Like it's not even judging a book by its cover. I just was not expecting to hear them at all today. So I was just like, oh, okay, my boy got taste.
Yes. I always surprise people because that was, and then I'm going to say something that's more expected. I was looking at getting tickets for Ben Folds 5. And that's easy to get, but it's only things that are hard to get, like Taylor Swift, like biggest name in the music industry, Beyonce, and another of the biggest names. Like they are always going to sell out fast, but like other artists, as you were
Or
saying,
they get
with
the
smaller
scalping, right? Like Kendrick Lamar's tickets are going for like $4,000
Yep.
on eBay now.
Kendrick.
It's crazy.
Like, only the biggest of the biggest. And as you were saying, Cliff, Nolan is really he is the only music superstar director.
Yeah, that's valid. I feel like on the positive, this is just drumming up conversation and hype, right? And interest. Like the idea that a movie on the Odyssey in the year of our Lord 2026, God willing, we're all still here on the face of this planet, is getting this much excitement to where it is selling out. I know that we have the scalpers in there, but the fact that we have mutuals and friends who were trying to get these tickets and they couldn't, but they tried. I just find that so fascinating that people are going to go to that length for a movie about the Odyssey. This isn't even the first time we've put the Odyssey on film, but people are that interested because of Nolan, because of this incredible cast, and that's just fascinating to me. If I'm just going to be quite honest.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's again, it's another lightning in a bottle moment because this is arguably a movie that's so far out of what we're used to seeing from him that it's just like,
It is, yeah.
we're used to him doing sci-fi and these very science heavy movies and all that stuff.
Very
Uh,
cerebral.
very yeah, the things that make you think from time to time and whatnot. To then have him just do a Greek classic, it's like, oh, okay. We might need to pay attention for this one. We thought Oppenheimer was great. This, like, he could retire after this. at this point. So yeah, it's just such a unique moment that I'm angry at everybody who got a ticket, every scalper. Like there's some of our letterbox friends. One guy, I forgot his name. He mentioned, it was Doherty. He mentioned he was trying to plan a whole like year vacation around this movie and whatnot. So yeah, there are people who are dedicated, and unfortunately, like concerts, like sneaker drops, like I'm guessing exclusive PlayStation 5 drops and all that stuff, or we can go the comic book route. Those exclusive issue ones from like specific comic shops. There are those scalpers who buy those. Like they know there's a market for it, so someone will unfortunately take it.
You're not wrong because this takes me back into the 90s, right? We had the death of Superman. Everybody and their mama was trying to get a copy of the death of Superman. They didn't even read comics, but they're like, Superman died. I need to get this book, and I'm going to resell this for thousands of dollars. And then he came back to life like 5 months later, and it made it worthless. But that's comics for you.
I did that once for a major comic book death, and you guys are going to make fun of me for this. Remember when they killed off Archie?
Didn't know they killed off Archie. This is new to me.
Right?
Yeah, like it came out like a little over like 10 years ago. I think this was like 2014 or something, but I was like, oh, I gotta get that.
Oh, this was during peak Riverdale season 2. Oh my goodness.
Mike, you just took the word. I was about to ask, was this during Riverdale?
I think it was maybe a little bit before, because I only watched the first couple episodes of Riverdale. I grew up reading Archie, had never really went back to him, and I'm like, holy shit, they killed him off. I gotta get the variants of each cover of Archie's death comic, and I did. They're still at my parents' house collecting dust.
Yeah, you're right. This was 3 years before Riverdale came out.
I bet you this was the pitch, right? Guys, they killed off Archie. It's edgy now. We can make a CW show off of this. That was the pitch right there. It was this comic book, The Death of Archie.
Yeah. Shout out to the
CW. Yeah, shout out to the CW. Yeah, they gave us 2 of the best Supermen somehow. So good for them.
Yeah. Sorry to get off topic. I thought of that.
You're fine. Is there anything else we wanted to talk about here? We spent a good 30 minutes talking about tickets for this movie.
I mean,
I'm reading the Odyssey right now, so I can't wait to get that second weekend 70mm IMAX ticket. It's going to be great.
Oh yeah. I mean, I will say one thing, because we were talking about Dune could also be because of the star appeal. This movie also has an incredibly starry cast. because you got Zendaya, she's in it, and Tom Holland. Matt Damon is the lead, Anne Hathaway, Charlize Theron, Robert Pattinson. I'm
John
losing.
Bernthal's in this movie.
Hell yeah, he was so good in that trailer. Everyone was like complaining. I'm like, hell yeah, he's yelling. He's good at
Yeah, Elliot Page, Mia Goth, Lupita Nyong'o, John
Oh,
Leguizamo. I'm
yep.
butchering his name. Cosmo Jarvis from
He dropped out.
oh, never mind. Shout out to Shogun.
Yeah, good show.
I can't wait for this movie. I love the book. I even loved the TV movie they made for this back in the day. Like,
Michael, I'm waiting to watch that. I'm finishing the book, and then it's on. It's on Prime right now. So like, I'm holding out to watch that adaptation.
it like for it to be a TV movie, it's surprisingly so solid. And I'm like, I miss this era where we could just have like B movies on like sci-fi and streaming and stuff. But yeah, like this movie's gonna rock. It's based on one of my favorite books. I love fantasy. It's my favorite genre. It's Christopher Nolan's spin on it as well. I can't wait. I'm excited for this movie. So excited that I would have bought tickets a year in advance. And I guess we know that this stunt works. Because I definitely, if we had a 70 millimeter screen here, I definitely would have been trying to buy it. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
I kept thinking, like, I could be dead by then. Well, then I could have just had someone inherit my tickets. I just got dark.
Or you can die after you see the screening. Let's
Yeah,
be
exactly.
optimistic here.
We could die during the screening for all we know. That'd
I
be the way to
mean-
go, honestly.
I mean, I would love
Athena
to die.
pops up, and I'm just like, ugh.
Zendaya as
Yeah.
Athena, I would, yes, out of body experience done.
Oh,
Cooked.
I mean, I know I will see this movie in 70 millimeter because the theater is right here. But I also don't know if I'm going to be living here. And that was my conundrum because the theater I go to for 70 millimeter, they don't do refunds.
That's valid. That's valid.
Sinners was easy to get a ticket for 70 millimeter. Granted, that was like the second weekend, but still, I talked to people who saw it in 70 millimeter twice, and they're like, no, it was pretty easy getting that. And I will say, I wonder if Coogler's next movie, if it's Black Panther 3 or something else, if he does 70 millimeter again, I feel like that could happen with him.
I want to talk about, before we go, just like the rise of 70 millimeter as a format, and Christopher Nolan and Ryan Coogler like normalizing these different formats. And like, I keep going back to that video that Coogler did for Sinners where he broke down all these different types of screens and formats. And I was actually just telling like my mom earlier today, as we were preparing for this show, I was telling her what the stream was going to be about. I'm like, yeah, Coogler's video is probably going to be taught in film schools for years to come.
Oh, yeah.
And do you think it's interesting seeing these guys like pioneer this technology to where it's not just, oh, I'm going to go see the Odyssey on the big screen. It's, oh, I want to see it the way Nolan wants me to see it in this very specific format.
I mean, Nolan and Coogler can make it sound cool. If you hear a guy in like film school talking about that, like somebody, like if it's one of us, somebody will walk by and be like, nerd. But when it's like Christopher Nolan or Ryan Coogler, hell yeah. Well, I mean, I even did nerd when it was like Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. Then I saw the movie and I loved it. But yeah. I mean, that was another 70 millimeter movie. Didn't see it.
I'm going to say yes because I think it keeps the focus on, hopefully, on just like artistic integrity and like the intention behind your camera choices, and hopefully it keeps the conversation surrounding, hey, there's more to making a movie than, I mean, you can just point a camera and shoot and film, but also there's more intention behind it, in some cases. And if you want to use 70 millimeter and you feel like there's a true reason for you to use it, go for it. Don't shy away from it. And I think if we have people like Nolan and Ryan Coogler doing it, I'm curious to see what. I hope we get a female director who decides to shoot in 70 millimeter IMAX as well. I feel like Greta Gerwig might be the closest one. with
Yeah,
Chronicles of Narnia. But
she's stuck in Netflix hell right now, I fear.
She's gonna release those in IMAX though. Like they struck a deal that Disney's trying to sue IMAX for because they're like, we need Frozen 3 in those theaters. And IMAX is like, well, Netflix paid for it first, so you can't get that.
Yeah,
well, you know what? Let's put Knives Out for 70 millimeter IMAX screening.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
here for it. No, but like, I just love that these filmmakers, these next gen filmmakers, are kind of like ushering in that era of like, hey, like you were saying, Cliff, that integrity of we did this for a specific reason, and we want you guys to know why you shouldn't be watching this on your iPhone, right? Because I fear that Martin Scorsese would say the same thing, but it was also like old man yells at cloud, where it's just like, how dare you not go to the theater and you guys are watching these carnival movies instead of real cinema? And it's like, I get what you mean, Marty, but the way you're delivering the message just isn't like hitting the way that we need to. Whereas the thing I love about that Coogler video is he didn't put down any of the like the standard formats. He's like, hey, this is what you're getting, and this is what it's going to look like if you go see it on this screen, and this is why we filmed it this way. And it's gotten to the point where even Marvel is doing that now. I don't know if you guys saw that, like Matt Shackman did like a video on IMAX talking about the IMAX for Fantastic Four like 2 days ago. And I'm like, oh, this is just a thing now where like director of big movie says, hey, this is why you should see it in IMAX. And he's like explaining the aspect ratio and how it's used to make Galactus even that much more intimidating than regular formats. And I don't know. I think that's the type of stuff that's going to help save theaters, because you're now giving the regular moviegoer a reason to go see it on the biggest screen instead of waiting to watch it at home on Netflix.
You just made me think of something because I spent so long putting down Fantastic Four in favor of Superman. James Gunn, all he was like, Superman could revive 3D. And I'm like, look, buddy, I love your movies. I loved Superman. Only Big Jim, James Cameron, can sell me on 3D, not Superman. Matt Shackman hyping up
Big Jim is
IMAX.
crazy.
I'm like, hell yeah, that's not 3D.
Yeah. I hear that Superman is phenomenal in 3D, by the way. From the
Not gonna
few
see
people
it.
who actually did see it, they were like, it's great. I'm like, I believe you. I'm not rocking the glasses over glasses thing, so y'all got it. Enjoy.
Mike, I did that for Shark Boy and Lava Girl in Spy Kids 3. I said never again. Like this is like I can't. This is too much. But I think there also might be just maybe this is too early to tell. Maybe this is just my conspiracy brain going. But I think it also studios could also be realizing the monetary value of having directors also talk about what formats they're using.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure we're going to get the Russos talking about the Avengers film being shot in IMAX.
I hope for their sake, do not let the Russos
No.
speak.
No.
I kind of want them to now. I kind of want them to share how they feel about it.
The moment
AI
they
would
open their
make this
mouth,
movie
a part
better.
of me dies, man.
Mm. Oh yeah, and then last thing I was thinking, because it also reminds me of, remember how we had conversations about what Taika Waititi was doing with Thor: Love and Thunder, and what Matt Reeves was doing with the Batman on the Zoom. I think that's
Yeah.
what it was called.
Yeah.
I'm sure they still use
Volume.
it, but yeah, volume. Thank you. I was like, I know it's something with a in it somewhere, but yeah, it didn't hit as much as I think the current conversation is circulating around IMAX formats. But I do think there's at least some similarity of like seeing, hey, directors talk about what you're doing here. This is really valuable. It just adds to the experience and hopefully gets more butts in seats.
Yeah.
Well, that idea, right, of getting the creatives to actually talk about their work. We even saw that with Superman, and like everybody was questioning James Gunn being so front facing and present during that press tour. But I do feel like this is just the future of movies, because they can sell it better than the actors can sell it, because they wrote it, they directed it, they know the ins and outs of this movie, right? So when Ryan Coogler speaks about Sinners and his process, you're instantly hooked, especially with a guy like James Gunn and Ryan Coogler, because they're just so charismatic. Like they're very good in front of the camera. Christopher Nolan can be too. He doesn't do a ton of interviews, but like the other day, he was hyping up one of his favorite movies being Ricky Bobby, and it's just like Nolan's based. He gets it, Like he can meet us where we are and like explain in an easy to understand way. And I just think that's a great way to go about it. Because again, you basically have to talk people into getting out of their house now to go see these things. Um, and they're going to hear that these movies already sold out a year in advance, and they're going to be like, "Oh crap, I need to go see what's going on with this Nolan movie. He just made Oppenheimer. It stars half the cast of Spider-Man for some reason. Let's go."
You know, one director who will probably do it for his final movie. He's worked on 70mm before, but not 70mm IMAX. Tarantino said his next movie will be his last. We don't know what it is. I bet he's going to do the 70mm IMAX, and I could see it going like this. I know I just said I don't think he could do it like Nolan, but the fact that that would be his final movie... And
it's not going to be, though, is it?
It won't be, but it could be for a bit. I mean, it's been so long since Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and he's 60.
That's not old, but got it.
I know, but time flies. He's trying to be a dad right now.
I mean, yeah, it's like I can see the last Tarantino movie being a very big deal. I definitely can see that. I'm not gonna knock you there. I'm not buying that this is his last movie bit. Like, no. I just don't think he's gonna stick to this.
I don't know.
Cliff is thinking really hard right now.
No, that's because that's a whole nother conversation video for another time. Because
yes,
I truly want this man to be like, oh, I just made 10 movies and then I dipped, and disappeared. But
I mean, I feel like not to derail the whole thing, but I feel like he thinks that and he probably feels that and wants to do that. But as a creative person, it doesn't stop. You can't just turn it off. One day something's going to spark. That could be 10 years from now. And he comes back at 70 years old and he has a new idea and he's going to make another movie. I could also see a version where he does just stick to his guns there. He's going to keep writing though. He's going to keep doing the TV stuff. Like, even if it's not a movie, you can't just say, I'm done being a creative person when you've been a creative person your entire life. You just can't turn that off,
Yeah. Cinema speculation. I didn't even see the actual title. I just saw the orange background. I was just like, oh yeah, he's about to pull out.
It's Cinema Speculations. Good book. A lot of fun.
Yeah, let us know if y'all want us to give you recommendations on books you should read for cinema or books that you can read if you like our opinions that much.
Oh, we could teach a whole course on cinema if you really want that, guys. There's a reason why my name is Novice Cinephile. It's explaining movies in an easy way for you all to understand. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, subscribe. We'll be back talking more movies, talking Fantastic Four, talking more movie news on Insider Chatter. Guys,
one more book.
One more book. This has been a fun one. I'm glad we got to do this.
Nolan variations.
I got to add this to my list and see if it's at my library on Monday.
Yeah, it's a good read.
Very good. Fan of Nolan. If you're not a fan of Christopher Nolan, I'm sorry. That's a sad existence.
Well, you suck. So.
Oh,
look, okay. Don't be mad at us, okay?
Whoa, I'm not mad at you guys. You guys love Nolan like I do.
He's mad at the people watching this video that sat here for 43 minutes with us talking about a Nolan movie and don't like Christopher Nolan. That's who he's mad at.
Yeah.
The little thing, because I've seen some of his movies, but that's a whole. Let us know if you want us to do a Christopher Nolan ranking, people.
We're gonna do it for the Odyssey, Cliff. We're gonna have to go through all of them.
Hell yeah,
it's gonna be fun. If you guys enjoy this,
have taste.
Subscribe. Don't miss a diggity dang thing here on the channel. Cliff, where can the folks find you?
Well, you can find me here and on Letterboxd at Cliff Boom. I just saw Superman again today. This is my second time. I'm seeing it for a third time tomorrow, which I think is way too much. But after 3 times, I'm done after that. But yeah, look me up on those platforms. I got some interesting movies coming up. I just watched Legally Blonde a couple weeks back, and I'm still thinking about it. So,
hey, that's a good movie. You watched Superman for a second time. Better or worse after your second viewing? You're muted.
I think better, but I think that's also because I'm just accepting the things that I didn't like. I'm just like, it's a part of the movie at this point. I'm here to have a good time.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful movie, fun time.
Yeah, I think the flaws, you kind of just settle into it. There's no flaw in that movie where I'm like, oh, I hate this. It's more of, I accept that pacing's a little wonky here and there, but it's cool. I just wanted your take. Nate, where can the folks find you, bro?
You can find me at Nate Knows Movies across most social media platforms, except on Instagram. I'm just at Nate Richard 98, and at Letterboxd you can just find me Nate Richard. I'm a patron on there, so easy to find me.
Epic. I'm Novice Cinephile everywhere. That is YouTube, TikTok, The Novice Cinephile on Instagram Threads. Also on Substack, I'm going to have an article go up this week over there. And you can find the podcast wherever you get your podcast, Chatter After, on Spotify, Apple, Google, and the Twitter account is still Chatter After on X. That's a lot of things. You almost ran out of fingers there, Cliff. I appreciate the countdown, though. And of course, Insider Chatter, Nate and I Talk News. We'll see you there. We got a ton to get through. Have a great one, guys. Remember, keep watching movies.
Bye.